Good morning. Well, at least it's morning where I am and when I'm recording this. It's Wednesday morning, August the 27th, 2014, and welcome to GIS Online at ACC. This morning is going to serve as your orientation since I was not able to get the orientation video out last week. So we'll do our orientation with this video as well as go over the syllabus. Then I'll have a second video for you to watch, which will have that should have our lecture on it. At this point in time, you don't have the software, so there will be no software exercises. There will be no GIS exercises, but I will be working on getting that software to you and the information you need to get that going. Okay, so let's get started. I want to get you oriented to the course, and we'll go over the syllabus. And that will wrap up this particular video. And then the next video that will be uploaded to Blackboard will be a video on ArcGIS and what you have to look forward to. It'll be an introduction to the software without actually having the software. And I will be getting you that info. So let's go ahead and get into this course. One thing I will say that I'm probably not going to be editing the video, so if I make a mistake or if I flub up or mispronounce a word, I'm not going to take the time to edit it because I just want to get these videos out to you. All right, so if you, hopefully you can see my screen here where you see the ACC course schedule. This course, the online course, can be found here in the online distance learning sections. You'll see as we scroll down, keep scrolling down, whoops, and I passed me, see, I'm not editing that out. I passed my course here. You should be able to click on here and get the syllabus now. I had to change out the syllabus the other day, and that's one other reason I wasn't able to do the orientation the other day, because I kind of had an epiphany and decided to change the way I wanted to do things. And I think the way I've moved to will be better for you because I'm doing these videos. These videos should be available to you if you have mobile devices, so you're not just stuck at a computer. If you have a mobile device, if for example you happen to ride the bus or the train, or if you're in the car with somebody else driving, you can watch the video online on your mobile device, and that's my hope here. All right, so we are in Geography 2470, and the course that you're in is 16930. You'll be using Blackboard to access most of the assignments, unless I have another way of getting that out to you. So let's go into this. Let's look at the syllabus. Now, I'm not going to go into this syllabus because the one that they have us put online here is really hard to read. I'm going to go to the syllabus. I'm going to go to Blackboard for the syllabus, and hopefully you're able to follow along what I'm doing here. And it's going to be, we'll go here and see, I've got all these courses here. You will not have all those courses show up in your Blackboard account, hopefully. But my Blackboard account will look a little bit different than yours because I'm an instructor, but that's okay. So you want to go to 16930 or 2470-001. Click on there, and hopefully you got the announcement. Let's go here. That the syllabus was changing, and I still have a few changes. I found a couple of mistakes on the calendar, on it, some typos. That'll get fixed up, and it will make more sense to you. Your first assignment to watch the video available August 27th. That video, what we're doing right now, will give you the overview for everything. So the syllabus is right here, and if you see me keep looking over that way, I've got two monitors here, so I keep looking off that way. I'm not trying to ignore you. The syllabus is right here. We'll click there, and it may take a while for it to pop up. So now you click here. And again, if yours looks a little bit different than mine, just let me know. And this is going to pop up a new window, and it's in Microsoft Word. When I'm setting up a special email account for this course, because the emails that you send to my ACC account tend to get lost. ACC sends out a lot of mass emails. Like if there's something going on in a building at the Hayes campus, everybody gets it. And so it's easy for I want you to have your own email account for this course to send in your questions, your thoughts, your comments. That way I will see it immediately instead of having to flip through, oh, at the Pinnacle campus, such and such is going on. Okay, so when I get you that email address, if you cannot load Microsoft Word on your computer, let me know, and I will get this into a different format so you'll have this available. For right now, you can view on the screen here. We'll wait for it to come up, and here it is. I'll walk you through this, and I'll just use this format. I'm not going to enable editing. Okay, a few things to note. Here is my information. My office hours are probably going to change. I will be going on campus once a week at Northridge, but I know that's not very helpful. I mean, your whole purpose of being in an online course is so you don't have to go to campus. So I'll be holding online office hours as well, where I will be available through Adobe Connect. I'm going to be scheduling Adobe Connect questions and answers office hour times. I'm hoping to do these at 10 a.m. just before I start recording my videos at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. And of course, we'll have email for you. Right now, I have the email set up for austincc.edu or Bon J. Brown. I'm going to change that because I just set up a new account because I decided it would be so much better if you would be able to have your own email that's exclusively to these classes, and I'd be able to answer your questions. All right, I'm not going to read the whole syllabus to you. A lot of these things you can find in the course description online. A lot of these things are standard. We use the standard language for ACC's syllabus. So I'm not going to repeat all of those things. I'm going to go over the things you really need to know, and I'll also let you know when there are changes to the syllabus, because I tend to adjust my teaching to the needs of the course. If I see that students are struggling in a certain area and we need to spend more time on it, I'm not going to say, okay, it's week 8, we've got to change subject. If we need to spend some more time on what we're doing in week 7, we'll spend more time on week 7. So I will be making those adjustments to the syllabus if we need to do that. All right, textbook. Here is your textbook. I'm going to hold it up to the camera a little better. It is the Introduction to Geospatial Technologies. It's the second edition. You can get by with the first edition if you would like to purchase it, but just be aware that there are some updates to this. This is a rapidly changing technology, and I believe the first edition is 4 years old now, 3 or 4 years old now, and there are some subtle changes. The links that you'll find in the text may have changed from the older version to this one. We will not be doing the lab exercises in this text unless I say we are going to. So as you're going, the first assignment is to read the first 2 chapters of the text. Don't do the exercises unless you really want to. Don't do the lab exercises. For example, let's go into chapter 1 here. At the end of chapter 1, okay. See, and I hope you can see this on the camera, okay? It says Geospatial Lab Application, Introduction to Geospatial Concepts in Google Earth. Well, we're going to use Google Earth in this course, but I don't want you starting out using Google Earth and then suddenly have to switch and go into ArcMap. It could be confusing. I would like for you to get a good knowledge of ArcMap before we start playing with some of the other things. So, unless you really want to do these lab exercises, they're fun. They are, and there's some neat things there. But you don't have to. These are not required. I'll have your first real lab assignment next week. Hopefully we'll have the software out. If we don't, we'll have to make some adjustments. I may go and do some online work with you instead of the actual software. So, first 2 chapters. And don't bother with the lab exercises just yet unless I come back and say, I think we need to spend a little bit more time on this. And then we'll keep moving forward. All right. So we've covered the text. We've covered the course descriptions. There's on the syllabus. My office location is here. But like I said, I'm going to primarily want to work with you through online office hours, unless you need to speak to me in person, and I'm more than happy to speak with you in person. But we'll have to work out a time. I will also be in South Austin. That's another thing I need to adjust there. I'll be in the South Austin campus on Stastny Lane in Mad Shack on Monday nights at 6 p.m. from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. So if you need to see me in person, I'll be available then. And those are some of the changes I need to make to the syllabus. All right. Now, if you look at this, if you look at the syllabus, you'll notice we have hybrid course and online course. You'll follow the instructions for the online course. But let's go through here and talk about some things you need. If you're going to be working on different computers, this thing about having an external USB flash drive or hard drive, that's only if you're going to be working on different computers. If you're doing all of your work on a single computer, you don't need that flash drive. Also, your lectures will be available online. Like I said, they'll be available each Wednesday. If they're going to be done earlier, I will let you know. There may be some times that I have to leave town and I'm not available on Wednesday, so we'll adjust my office hours and my recording times accordingly. Okay, so let's keep moving on. You'll be able to get to the videos. You'll get to the video link on Blackboard. It will be a YouTube link that you can only view if you have the link. So you can't share it with your friends unless you give them, if somebody else goes to that link and you're not the right person or whatever, it's not going to open up. So I'm still getting used to this whole video thing, but you'll have to have that direct link to get to it. You can't just go find a GIS video, so it's not going to be in the search for YouTube, so you'll have to use that link from Blackboard. All right. When I get my Adobe Connect room working, and I will have that information on how to log in. I won't be doing it until next week, so hopefully I'll have all my kinks worked out. That's what was causing me problems last week when I wanted to have the orientation. I could not get that Adobe Connect. It's a type of software for webinar use. It allows interaction between you and me. I couldn't get that up and running, so I had to come up with an alternative and use this video recording, which is not interactive. Another option I'm looking at using, if not Adobe Connect, is the Google Hangouts for class, and I'm leaning towards that one because I think we might be able to make that work a little bit better. What I'm really trying to do is have it set up so that we can talk on the phone. If you want to call in to me and participate in like a conference call, we can do that while we have an interactive video. So you can chat and watch the video. You can send me chat questions, or you can get on the phone with me, and we can talk. We can actually use voice conversations instead of me talking and you typing. But I have to get with ACC and find out how to make that work. And I thought I had it figured out, and I didn't. It works different at ACC than we had it working at UT. So my apologies there. All right, enough of the talk about Adobe Connect and Google Hangouts. So we'll have Q&A sessions at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays, and then I will be doing recording. If I can make the software work, I want to have it set up so that if you want to participate in the actual recording live when the recording is going on, you'll be able to do that. But I'm still trying to work on that software. And this is my first time teaching online at ACC, so I ask for your patience, and I appreciate your understanding here. All right, so let's jump down here to online course. GIS lab exercises and homeworks will be completed on your own. Now, you can come into the lab at Northridge campus and at South Austin campus. There are labs on campus that you can go to, and if you don't want to work at home by yourself, you'll be able to go there. I also have, as soon as we get our tutors set up, we also have tutors that will be available to you online and in person at the Northridge and the South Austin campus. As soon as we get those students that are going to be our tutors lined up and get their schedule, I will be sure to get that schedule to you and get you the information on how to how to meet up with a tutor either online or in person. Okay, so these lab exercises will be completed on your own, and then I'll have the lectures available each week on Wednesdays. I'll have either the Adobe Connect Q&A office hours or the Google Hangouts, whichever I can make work best. I may go back and forth, and I will ask for your feedback. If we do that, we might try Google Hangouts. I'll be sure and let you know how we're doing that, if we're having Google Hangouts or Adobe Connect. And I will want your feedback on which one works better. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, and I haven't had a chance. I haven't been able to get guinea pigs to let me know what works the best. So Wednesday, 10 a.m. So starting next Wednesday, I'll have my office hours going, and you'll be able to pop in either to Google Hangout or Adobe Connect, and you will have that link before Wednesday. Okay, so each of the exercises will be due each Wednesday by Google Drive or Blackboard. It depends on, and I'll show you next week. One of the things we'll go over next week is how to do that, how to turn in your assignments. And and I lost my train of thought, so I'll come back to that. So each one of these will be due each Wednesday, either on Google Drive or Blackboard. I know what I was saying. If the file is too large, it won't fit on Blackboard, so we'll have to go with Google Drive or an alternative method. That's why we're doing either one of those. So if you try to upload to Blackboard, it doesn't work, then we have to come up with an alternative. There's another way that we have for sharing, and we've got the Dropbox, and we've also got something called DropSend. So if your file is enormous, we'll use DropSend. And again, as we get closer to time to turning in exercises, I will walk you through the process of how to do those different ways of doing that. But for today, the assignment is read the text and watch this video that you're watching right now. Okay. Course rationale. Let me move over here. Again, I have to look over there because I've got dual screens. So this is the basic information. We want you to be able to understand the methods and the theories behind GIS. That's what this book is for. This is not to tell you how to use GIS. It tells you why we use GIS and what it can do and the science behind it. For the actual manual working of the software, we'll have tutorials. I'll have a different set of tutorials every week for you to work through. All right, so here's what you want your objectives. You want to be able to close that and make this larger. Whoops, it just moved. Okay, we want you to be able to describe what geography and GIS are. That comes from the book. Understand the importance of scale, projection, and coordinate system in GIS. You'll study the book on that, and then we'll have some exercises in ArcMap for you to be able to apply that knowledge. We'll move through here a little faster. Understand vector and raster structures. That'll make more sense when we get to them. Understand the basics of these things right here, which is the definition of a GIS. Data capture, storage, analysis, and output in GIS. Understand uses of GIS in business, government, and resource management. And all the while you're studying all those things, you'll be learning how to use it. You'll be knowing how to click the buttons and use the mouse and know what sort of things to type in and how to make a nice map and how to do some analysis as well. Okay, here's our grading. Quizzes, there will be 10 of these for 10 points each, value of 100. I will announce, like this week, your quiz next week will be available Wednesday, and it will be over the first 2 chapters of the text. So your quiz will be available Wednesday. It will be on Blackboard. You'll just go in and you can answer the questions, go through. It's not timed. You can take, I think I have it set up to where you can take it as many times as you'd like. And it's open book. These are just things that for you, for your benefit to know what are the most important things, what does she really want us to get out of this chapter? So if I put it in the form of a quiz, 10-question quiz, so you can see what I think is important, you'll know, and it gives you some practice and some little bit of a drill and a little bit of a memory test for yourself. Okay, there's 3 projects at 100 points each. We'll get to those. As we get to those, your first project will probably be assigned in week 4. I say probably it's not in the syllabus on the calendar yet because I like to see how people are doing first before I just throw out the project. So there's 3 at 100 points each. They will get progressively more, you'll become progressively more independent in these projects. The first one will take you through step by step, almost like a tutorial. The second one will be, you need to create a buffer to do this, but you'll need to know on your own how to create a buffer. That's the difference between the first one and the second one. The first one will tell you each step to take to do the process. The second one will tell you what you need to do, and you have to figure out the steps to do it. The third one will be, you're much more on your own, and you and I will be talking a lot. You'll probably be spending a lot more time in the Q&A sessions towards the end of the course than you do at the first part of the course because you'll be working through those projects. Okay, and right now I have 2 major tests scheduled at 100 points apiece. That might change. We may just do a midterm and not have a final. I generally don't like to have a final in these courses. I like to get a lot of the theoretical stuff and the things you need to be tested on for a memory test done in the first half of the course so that we don't have to have a final at the end. You can concentrate on your final project. If that's the case, then we'll adjust these points. So your major test will be 100, so this total will be down to 500, and then the scale, the grade scale will adjust as well. And you can read through here and see what total number of points ends up giving you an A, B, C, or D. Now I'll say it's hard to flunk my GIS courses because I like to check on competency. If I can tell that you're competent enough and you do the work, it's basically if you do the work, you should get enough points to get at least a C or above. And so mostly the people that fail the course are people that don't do the work. So if you get the work done, it will be very easy for you to make a C or above. Okay, so I've talked a little bit about the quizzes already, and this just formalizes in text. Your test, you'll need to take the test at an ACC testing center, and when we get closer to time to take the test, I'll have that information to you on how to go to the testing center and sign in and do all of that stuff. Okay, so your projects, I've already explained those. They'll be real-world situations rather than something that, well, a lot of our exercises will be a real-world situation, but the projects will be a little more comprehensive and you'll be putting things together here and there. Okay, course policies. Attendance, that only applies to the hybrid course. Attendance, your attendance is watching the videos. If you don't watch the videos, it's not going to, you could very well be lost. I'm going to be doing a lot of video tutorial. And actually, a lot of our assignments are going to be based on you following along with what I'm doing. I'll have the data for you. And you'll be following along what I'm doing on the video, rather than being on your own and looking through a book and it says, now click on here, now click on this. You'll have the stuff there for you to go through, but I'll have the video available for you as well. So if you have a dual monitor setup, that's great because you can watch the video on one and work on the assignment in the other. Okay, so your attendance is to watch these videos and participate. Withdrawals, I hope nobody has to withdraw, but November 20th, 2014, last day to withdraw. Incompletes, they hate, ACC hates it when I give incomplete, so I only had to do it 2 times, and that's because somebody was in a hospital. It was a very bad situation for the student, but the student had worked really hard all semester, and I was only out the last couple of weeks, so incompletes are almost impossible to squeeze out of me because I kind of got in trouble one time when I gave one. So they're highly discouraged. Okay, so let's all be honest. Let's not cheat on any exams. Now it says exam or quiz. Now I've already told you you can use your text for a quiz. I'm cool with that. So if I want to set up some, I've been trying to set up some message boards and some ways for you to interact with each other in this course. I have no problem with you guys getting together outside of the online environment with this setup, meeting up together, meeting somewhere, and working together on the projects. I actually would encourage that. So hopefully people will start attending the Q&A sessions and you'll get to know each other. That's one reason I want you to come to Q&A, so you can talk to each other in the chat room and stuff and get to know each other and meet up and help each other out. GIS is so much easier to learn when you're working with someone else. So I encourage you to work together. The only thing I don't want you to do is share data. I don't want one person to work up to a point, like say you get the first third of the project done, you got all your data, you got all your information, and everything's ready to go up through a third of the project. I don't want you to hand that over to someone else. That's not doing yourself any favor. It's not doing anybody else any favor. But if you want to work together and say, hey, how did you do this? What did you do this? How did you get this to work? I would be so happy if you would do that. Let's move on. Let's go through academic freedom. We're not in a regular classroom situation, but I don't want you to have any fear of, if you come to Q&A sessions, I don't want you to have any fear of speaking out. Your opinion and your thoughts and your questions are respected by me, and I ask that of all students that are in the course. All right, let's go through the course outline. Here's where I found some typos that I've got to go and fix. Week 1, this is our introduction. Our lab exercise is actually watching a video, and I'll have that posted. Next week we will do how does a GIS work? Tabular data meets a map. So we'll have a lab exercise working with GIS data. Then reading for week 3. Something strange has happened to my formatting here, so that's why I'm a little what happened here. The reading for week 3 is for projections, coordinate systems, and datum. That's going to be Chapter 3, and part of that's Chapter 2 as well. Chapter 2 leads into that. And let's see, the lab exercise, projections, and coordinate systems. And I've got another exercise that we'll put in there. There's a couple of things I'm going to switch around on the syllabus. As I got that out just the other day, I thought, why did I put it in this order? That makes no sense. Okay, so Week 5, spatial analysis, Week 4, spatial analysis, Part 1, attribute queries. This will make more sense when we get into it. Spatial analysis, Part 2, and Part 3. So we'll be doing some spatial analysis, and that means things like finding out, let's put you in a real world situation here. You've been assigned to find the best location for a youth recreation center. And your criteria is it needs to be within less than a mile from a bus stop. It can't be anywhere near like liquor stores or adult entertainment locations. So let's say it can't be within 3 miles of any of that. It needs to be on the bus route and within a mile of a bus stop. And it should be near at least one high school. So that spatial analysis is putting all that together. Okay, this is my criteria. You put it in the computer, you do all this magic stuff, and it goes, boom, here's your best location. So that's what spatial analysis is all about. So we'll be working through that. Okie dokie. Then here's where, somewhere in here is where my typos are. Oh yeah, I have 2 week 9s, and I have to fix that. So, so we've got, we're going to also look at aerial imagery, which is a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy that. And talk about remote sensing. This imagery and remote sensing, if you look, if you're taking a course, if you're taking the course and you're working on your certificate, your level 2 certificate, you'll have to take a course called Introduction to Raster GIS. And this is what you'll be doing in that course, is working with imagery and remote sensing. Okay, we'll also get into imagery continued, and we'll be doing some, now here's where this is where I've decided already to change this. We'll be moving that georeferencing to a different location in the course, but that will make more sense again when we get to that. Week 9, geocoding. That's what you do geocoding to set up things like MapQuest. When you type in an address and it shows you where that is on the map, that's because that address has been geocoding. What that does is it takes an address and it geolocates it on a map. So you'll be the one doing that. You'll be able to do that yourself. So setting that up from the backside rather than being the person that types it in and says, show me, you're the one that sets that up to make it work. And again, something's gone weird with this. It repeats itself. So, like I said, I have to make those corrections. There's some other things we'll be doing. Data creation, collection, and quality. Instead of relying on somebody else's data, how to create your own data. That's going to involve things like using a GPS and actually drawing and grabbing data off the internet. And for some reason, I have geocoding again, and we're not going to do geocoding twice. So then we get finally into making a map. That's called cartography. And all along, you will have maps. You will be looking at maps on the screen. But when I say making a map, I'm talking about making a map that can be a poster, that can hang on the wall, that can be presented. It's got all the map elements like the scale bar and the north arrow and the legend and all of those things. So that's where we get into the art and science of making maps, as opposed to just having a map that shows up on the screen that gives you data or information really quickly. And then this is fun, 3D GIS. We'll be doing some work with in 3D. We'll move on from there. Well, some work in the cloud, some of the open source and crowdsourced GIS. We'll look at the future of GIS, and then we'll do some special topics in GIS where we get to do some fun things like creating our own contour map, creating our own topographic map, building elevation data, looking at getting slope from the data, and that's some raster work that we'll do. So that covers the syllabus. Again, next Wednesday, I will have some information for you on, by next Wednesday, I'll have the information on how we're going to do the Q&A session, whether it'll be in a Google Hangout or in the Adobe Connect. I'm hoping to get all that to working. And I will also, hopefully by this evening, on Wednesday evening, I'll have the information for you on how to get that software loaded up for your computer, and we'll get that done. Okay, next in our orientation today, there we go. Want to go to the email address. Now, I'll put this up on a sticky note here. Don't all this stuff. That's a bunch of equations. And I'll put it in Blackboard. No, I don't want to delete that. And I apologize for the delay here. Anytime you record, it slows your computer way down. Later, I get a new sticky note. There we go. It is ACCGIS online. Gmail. And again, the reason we're doing this is, here it is right here in the middle. Don't worry about that right there. Don't worry about that. These are just some other sticky notes that have popped up. Okay, so ACCGISonline@gmail.com. That is where you will send any kind of questions you need that you have for me. Like I said, my ACC inbox, everything comes into that, spam, all sorts of things, and student emails in the past just dumped on it. It's like the big dump truck comes in and dumps email in there, and it just it's hard to find student emails. It's hard to sort student emails out of that. So if you have your own, if your class has its own email address, then I don't have to worry about all of that other stuff. I'm, putting some spam filters out there. I'm not going to let anybody else know about this email address other than students. So there you have it. And again, that will be on Blackboard. So, and I'll get that changed in the syllabus as well. All right. I'm going to end this recording, and it'll be posted up there. Well, obviously, if you're watching it, it is posted. So stay tuned and for your first GIS lecture. Shouldn't take too long. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.